Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today we are playing on Forever and a Lifetime. This is a Fog of War matchup, base light, single airport locked behind a whole lot of pipe seams. Single comm tower, well, double comm tower on the far left hand and right hand side of the map, and some somewhat contested properties. So this is a very interesting one. This one was actually sent in to me by one of these two players, and they said it was a wild game. Now I haven't actually watched it, so I'm not sure what is gonna happen in this one, but you know, if it's sent in, I figure why not, folks. Let's go ahead and give it a go and see what happens. Now we do have interesting CEOs for this one. Now today we're joined by Aigaion and IceColdNorca, two players that I have seen a little bit of in the live league. I believe that they're somewhere in like the 800 range when it comes to live league rating. So should be an interesting one for sure, folks. Should be an interesting one. But we have two CEOs and one new CEO that we haven't featured on the channel yet. So first off, we'll go with Sasha. So Sasha will get a day-to-day bonus of plus 100 funds per city owned, which can be very, very effective for getting some early tech ups. In addition, her market crash ability will negate the power bar of her opponent, depending on the amount of funds that she has left. So she's very good at negating the enemy's power and keeping them to only using their day-to-day abilities. And she also has access to war bonds, which will give her half of the fund value of the damage dealt. So it's not an often co-power that she uses. Can have some benefits here and there, but overall you want to be using market crash. But we also have Nell. So Nell is a day-to-day bonus. We'll get up to plus 19% luck on her roll. So she has the potential of doing extra luck damage. Now this can be good. It's an unreliable power, but it can be good for sure. Now her Lady Luck co-power will boost her luck all the way up to potentially 59%. And her super co-power will boost it to like 99% or like 100%, something like that. But very, very effective stuff. It might be 60 and 100, but you guys could read the card, see that there. So Nell is a wildly unpredictable CEO to go up against. She kind of breaks the game in a lot of sense because infantry can now do insane amounts of damage to your tanks and other vehicles, right? So you better watch your tonks, folks, when you're fighting a Nell. Alrighty, folks, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one, and let's see what happened. So, as you guys know, on the first few days, we got our standard infantry builds. You gotta get the infantry on the field, #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. So, and there they go. Just look at them go, folks. Now this is an interesting dynamic with the airport so far away from one of the neutral or from one of the bases. You actually have to send an infantry back very, very far in order to capture that, which takes it out of combat for quite a few days. Like it's 1, 2, 3. Well, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like an 8-turn investment for an infantry to go up there, cap it, and then come back to the front lines. So timing the capture on the airport is very, very essential, but you don't really want to do it too soon because you need the infantry on the front lines. If your opponent doesn't go for the capture on the airport right away, well then you're out in infantry on the front lines, which can be very, very bad in a lot of sense. A lot of cases it can be very bad. Okay, so our Sasha player, as you guys can see, opened up with a tank on day 4. Tank day 4 is very, very common. You know, you either see day 3 recon or day 4 tank more than anything. Now, IceColdNorca here does something interesting though, because he goes for another infantry even though he's got the funds for a tank. I feel most of the time, if you got enough money for a tank, you should buy a tank. Yeah, or a recon. But you got to get some kind of a vehicle out when you can, because if your opponent has a tank out and you don't have a tank out, well then you're a tank behind, and it's really, really bad for your infantry because you got nothing to defend them. So that is a big problem, but might not be a huge problem. I would say it wouldn't be a huge problem if you were able to have 14,000 funds next turn, but considering that they're only going to have 12,000 funds, they're just going to buy a tank anyways, and then just still be behind in tempo. So definitely get your tanks out as quickly as you can. Number 2 priority, advancers by web. Yeah, see, this turn we should have went recon and tank. I think that probably would have been a much more effective buy or build than this, but I think maybe we're going recon because or not recon, but infantry here, because we're planning on sending this infantry back to capture the airport now. As you can see, our Sasha player is already doing that, so I think that might be the idea. And Sasha builds the old double infantry. Now is going to be getting 12,000 funds every single turn. So is quite a bit ahead on the properties at the moment. Nell is only going to be able to capture 2 properties this turn. Yeah, so no, or was that 3? Seven, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So we're up to 9. So that's okay. So we get a tank and a recon out now, which is good, you know. I probably would have preferred to go double tank at this point. You know, you build double tank and you send one this way, you send one north. Probably would be a good idea at that point. So day 7. So this is good from Sasha. So we captured the contested property, then we go back and go for a neutral one. More than likely, nothing is going to be able to acquire or start a cap on this property next turn, just due to the placement of your own infantry, right? So unless you really have an infantry that's in position to start a cap on an enemy property, it's safe to assume that your opponent does not have an infantry ready to cap. So, something to keep in mind, folks. And Sasha going for another tank, double tank, 3 tanks on the field, and a single recon at the moment. Now, IceColdNorca gonna get many caps this turn though. So boosting that funds all the way up to 13, and potentially gonna get it up to 16 next turn with 3 extra caps. There's no, okay, there might. No, there's no way. Never mind. Yeah, so these 3 caps are definitely guaranteed. There's nothing that can acquire vision and attack next turn. So that's going to be safe for now. I see a world where this tank probably sits in this forest to sort of get vision and prepare for an attack. It might go mid to this forest, but this forest is very, very risky to go in. So we'll see. We'll see where Sasha decides to go. So we're going to play it safe. Okay. So we bring it back into this forest. I think we probably could have been like a little bit more adventurous with it and sent it here, but this is fine. This is playing safe. There's nothing wrong with being safe. Base skip for battlecopter artillery this turn. Kind of interesting. I mean, battlecopters are great. Got no complaints about a battlecopter. Maybe the base skip I'm not really quite sure about, but I mean, we get a battlecopter, so that's pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so IceColdNorca should be able to acquire those 3 caps, going for the comm tower now. Doing an insanely risky move over here. I probably would not suggest to do stuff like this, where you bring both of your infantry onto 0-star terrain in the middle. That's kind of just asking for your infantry to get hit. Now, it is possible that this could be a bait, right? Because we have a tank that can go here, so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this tank goes onto this silo tile right here, it will cover both infantry, and this tank is able to cover this infantry here. So if something does come up and attack it, we at least have one attack and potentially two attacks in order to block those guys, right? And we have double recons in the center, so we do have lots of vision. Anti-air build, very smart. Day 9 or day 8 anti-air build, that's pretty good. You know, this is about the time when you would assume that air units are going to start making their appearance, you know, from the airport. So you gotta get the anti-air on the field for sure. All right, Sasha now acquiring a couple more caps, boosting the funds up to 16,500 funds every single day. Which is pretty good. That means that they have 15 properties at the moment. So technically they're actually behind in caps, comparable to our Nell player at the moment. But they do have the comm tower, so they have the power advantage right now. And it looks like we have an engagement here on this infantry from the city right here, which is pretty good. You know, I don't really... not really anything terrible about doing that attack. You know, you're on very, very strong terrain. You block your opponent from being able to capture the property. So, it's pretty good. Now, it does look like we do have an attack here, but without backup, it's very risky to go in for a singular attack like that. It would probably be more advantageous to kind of maybe sit in the forest and wait for reinforcements, but... we'll see. Comm tower. Now cap that comm tower before you do anything. There you go. There you go. I'm not sure what the luck damage on this was. I'm pretty sure this is about a base hit. You should be doing around 70%, right? So potentially, if we did cap that comm tower, we could have capped the comm tower, did the attack, and probably finished it off with an infantry. Oh, so we go in for the attack. Definitely a super risky move, like I said, especially with no backup. Well, we finished the recon, which is great. I mean, we do want to finish the recon if we have the ability to do so. I think this attack is kind of unnecessary. This recon should probably stay down here and assist with the vision game. And this recon, we attack from up here, which is a much more dangerous spot. I think if anything, we should probably attack from this tile right here. It would make it a lot more safe, right? Because we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 2-day reinforcements in this base would actually reach these two tiles here. So by putting the recon right here, you put your recon in range of 2 base reinforcement over here. So if this was a tank build, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be able to hit anything in one of these tiles right here. So this guy should really go here, just to make sure that we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff, right? that's mainly what we're looking for here. Interrupt the cap in the corner. Not too shabby. Infantry is definitely going to get smoked out of existence from that hit. So maybe not really necessarily like the best attack. But I don't think we had vision in the corner. So we only have vision on the infantry itself. So, and actually, you know what? Going in and attacking from here is also pretty risky. Probably would have just attacked from right here. But I think maybe what the idea was is we wanted to stay at a range of this infantry, right? But you don't know what's in this little tile right here. So it is pretty risky to go for that kind of an attack. Okay. No. We shouldn't do stuff like that. We got to bring that guy back. Sending the infantry forward just to gain vision onto a property that we know that your opponent already owns. If anything, just keep them on the road to prevent like a double hit maybe. but even if there is a double hit here, I mean, 6 HP onto 8 HP, full HP onto 8 HP, that should clear. Actually, it will clear, but I don't know. We'll see. Actually, this is even worse too. So by doing this, if they do have a tank here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2-day reinforcement, technically, the tank can't reach, but it's got a tank right there. So if we're going by the rule of 2-day reinforcement, this actually would be safe from like a secondary hit, but I mean, he's got this one here, so you could probably assume that he's got something to cover it. But by going here, you would at least prevent a 2-hit from fresh HP and this guy right here. So if anything, yeah, just keep that infantry there. That probably would have been a little bit better. Plus, he's got 4 infantry here. So we clear the infantry up in the corner. Totally expected that. It's perfectly fine. We're a little vulnerable right now. Little vulnerable. Recon on a road is incredibly susceptible to tank hits. I could definitely see that being destroyed. Yeah, it's gone. All right. Recon should have actually seen the artillery going into this forest. So that's pretty good. Battlecopters are coming in. And Sasha is just going to town over here. So this is an interesting move here. So we go up and injure an infantry with this one. You know, I think we probably should have just went for the clear on the tank. So if we can clear a tank, then that is like absolutely fantastic. Now, even if they have another tank, they'll come up, they'll probably attack your tank, but you can just bring your tanks back to heal, right? And you have a tank right here covering, so if it did go up and do that, then you would be able to attack in turn, right? So I think that might have been okay. But, you know, these are very minor things. You know, it's not necessarily like, you know, ending of, yeah, gonna end the game or anything, you know? But if you can snipe out a tank early in the game, super good. Do it. Because this tank could just go back and heal over the course of a couple days, and then with no powers coming online, you know, it's pretty devastating. Every single unit counts when it comes to that. All right, so bring the tank back to get heals. Very good. I think. Alright, so we forgot to move the infantry. Definitely make sure we do that. It happens. You know, it's live. It's live. It happens. Okay, so we're going up. Eliminate the infantry. Eliminate another infantry. Probably... I mean, eliminating the infantry is good. Maybe do a hit on, like, the full HP infantry, but... I mean, get the unit count down for sure. Alright, going in for a cap. Oh, okay, never mind. So tank just moves up and hits it anyway, so perfectly fine. Okay, going back for heals, very nice. Anti-air in position. Our artillery is going down, and then we market crash. Okay, so we market crash before we bought anything, so perfect. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, so IceColdNorca in a little bit of a pickle, for sure. We did definitely lose quite a few infantry here, but we should actually still be ahead in the overall unit count, as long as we don't go answering the call of yeet right now, because we're not really doing too bad. You know what? 6 tanks to 4 tanks. So as long as we buy 2 tanks this turn, then we will be even in the tank count. We have equal copters. Should be okay. Obviously, this is Fog of War, folks. Neither of these players have any sort of intel on what the opponent has, but is what it is, folks. All right, so almost 6 grand in the bank for next turn. 16,000 funds coming out next turn. Nell's in a pretty good spot here. You know what? I think maybe a battlecopter, tank, another vehicle build next turn could probably be pretty good for sure. Maybe even just a double tank build, you know. Alright, going and interrupting a cap in the middle here. Yeah, that guy's not going to be going anywhere too quickly, unfortunately. And it does look like our Sasha player has now evened the playing field when it comes to the properties. So, when you see Sasha with 17,600, that just means that she has 16 properties. Because 16,000 times 10% is, you know, 17,600. That's just what it is. Math, folks. Ooh, going heavy on the battlecopters too. Very interesting. I don't think this is a bad idea. You know what? You got the airport, you got the money, spam out as many units as you can. One of the best ways to counter a Nell is to definitely overrun her with unit count, so not too bad of an idea. Probably wouldn't have sent these guys up here. So this is one thing that I see like a lot of like really low level players, not even like even low level players, but just maybe just like inexperienced players, right? So one thing you really want to make sure that you're doing is you never send your units up like this without some sort of coverage, right? So that's pretty much just asking for you to lose a tank, essentially. And like, what did we kill? So we kill a recon, right? So that's fine. I mean, we do want to be eliminating vision, but we don't want to eliminate vision at the expense of losing a tank. So that's not necessarily the best thing. What you really do want to do is you want to pump out the classy medium tanks. Join the classy medium tank club. IceColdNorca, congratulations. You are a classy fella, indeed. All other sins have been forgiven. Alright, but as you guys can see here, we ended up losing that tank and we have no coverage for it, so that is going to be a free hit. This guy's going to be able to easily go back and get heals next turn and just heal up to full in like 2 days. Even if it doesn't want to heal up to full, it can be really effective at just chipping away at infantry. Clever little battlecopter hit, actually. So we go all the way down to the corner to attack, so not too bad. And we cover it and eliminate the vision. So this is very good. So actually, this is even better than you might think too, because we do see an infantry here. So we know that the infantry has 2 visions. So even if an infantry goes here, it can't actually scout the battlecopter. So for the time being, that battlecopter is definitely safe. Managed to get a free hit on the tank and a clear with 2 other tanks. So now it does look like Nell is suffering quite a bit in the unit count, having to fight 4 copters, 7 tanks, with a significantly less amount of tanks. But Nell's got that power, which is the great equalizer. It is quite the devastating co-power indeed. 2 movement on a medium tank. No, we gotta pump that guy out as fast as it can go. We gotta pump him out all the way to here. Even if there's a battlecopter here, I mean, he's not gonna go up and attack your battlecopter or attack your medium tank with a battlecopter. I mean, he might, but that's not worth it because you're just gonna lose a battlecopter. Because I mean, airport right here, base right here. Obviously, there's an anti-air on the field somewhere. That is just asking to lose your battlecopter for sure. And medium tanks, you know, they're classy. They like to take their time. So you want to be pumping that guy out as far as he can go in order to get the maximum amount of distance that he can get. Because right here, it doesn't actually cover your front line. So if you do choose to hold your front line right here, medium tank's not going to be there to help out next turn. See, we got another classy boy, which is great. But we go in for this attack right here. This guy's going to be healed up and we lose another tank because of that engagement. And our Sasha player right now, 2, 3. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good on time too. So like still 12 minutes on the clock. Oh, that was a nasty little snipe. So that's what I mean. We gotta be pulling back more often than pushing up. Unfortunately, because we actually just lost our anti-air because of that hit. Now, if we were pulled back and then, like, you know, we had the medium tank right here, then we can get a nice, nasty couple hits here, especially with the co-power coming up here. But because we didn't go up farther, we're not really going to be able to hit a whole lot. So, yeah. Gotta be watching out for that stuff. Built a classy medium tank of their own, so congratulations, Sasha. Very nice. Using the Lucky Star. So this is the one where it goes up to 60% luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do have 6 units that we could potentially attack with. So we go in for an infantry hit. We go in to take out the anti-air. Oh my god, that was a nice hit. Okay. Move the infantry, go in with the battlecopter, snipe out that battlecopter for sure. Oh no, we didn't snipe out the battlecopter. We definitely should have sniped out the battlecopter. The battlecopter is far more threatening than a tank. And this is a guaranteed one-shot, like 100%. Because we're going to be doing, like, on average, like 80% damage normally. Like, a little bit more because it's at 9 HP. So, like, any percent of luck that we get on top of that, that would have been a complete KO. So, we got to take that guy out. Because the battlecopter is going to come in and attack our battlecopter. And we end up losing our battlecopter. Now, if we took that out, these 3 tanks would have to run away because they can't fight into a medium tank. So taking that engagement is very, very good. But because we didn't, it is possible that this battlecopter goes in, attacks this. These guys just kind of like chill out over here. Or they could front switch up here. Yeah, so they're essentially front switching. So some of them are going back to get heals, which is fine. It's weird that the battlecopter didn't actually attack the battlecopter though. I mean, you would lose your battlecopter in the long run to that fight, but I guess it's fine because we brought this battlecopter over to actually cover it. So that's great. It's great. It's not too bad at all. Bringing the medium tanks up. Not really getting any super good hits with them, but bringing them up, so it's okay. So we do another market crash. I'm curious to why we did market crash before all the attacks, though. Maybe there was potential that we weren't going to be able to clear a unit and we needed the extra 10% firepower. That is possible. Okay, so double classy medium tank over here from Sasha now. So this is getting pretty spooky. Pretty close to co-power. Managed to snipe out a battlecopter and do 2 strikes over here. It's a pretty risky thing to keep your medium tank in one spot. I mean, we don't know that there's an anti-air there, but it is pretty risky to do that. You kind of want to keep your medium tanks moving. I don't really like these one movement things. I mean, I kind of get it because there's a huge force over here, but we got to be utilizing like all of our movement. Alright, so Sasha takes the lead when it comes to overall funds, does another market crash, and then goes in and starts pounding away at medium tanks. Oof. Takes him all the way down to 1. It's not... Well, I mean, it's a medium tank on medium tank attack, so it's perfectly fine, but... Ouch. Definitely a big ouch. Alright, so we're going up, scouting with the battlecopter. What do we see? We see an artillery. And we bring the recon up. And we see a 2 HP tank, so we try to attack it. And we succeed. Bring another medium tank up. Going into attack. It's possible we're going for a lucky star. We can get the lucky star if we sack the medium tank into this medium tank. And then if we do that, pop lucky star, there is a possibility that we might be able to clear this medium tank or at least do like a big amount of damage. I don't think that's necessarily like the best move. I mean, it's fine. It's fine, but No, unless we're doing like 6 damage, we don't really want to be taking those kind of engagements. So if we do 60% damage, it's not terrible to take these kind of engagements because a 4 HP unit will typically take your unit down to like 8 HP, and then it heals up to 6, so technically you're still ahead in the overall like combat for it. So, but by taking an engagement that's only like 40%, we don't really get a whole lot of value from that. We're like 1200-ish right now from a co-power. It's like 100. If we got a luck roll, if we got a luck roll on this, we might be able to get it, but we definitely could have acquired the power just by sacking the medium tank and then doing that attack. If we did that, there is a good possibility that we may have actually won that engagement, but nice little clear over there from those units. We got 8 HP coming in, slapping that guy around. Another class of medium tank coming in. Anti-air taking the engagement. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty over for Nell, unfortunately. She put up a good effort, but couple overextensions and not enough coverage on the units. You know, that's really what just kind of did. Oh my god, that's what did it for them. But look at this engagement right here. So Copter coming in, Recon finishes the medium tank. Holy macaroni and cheese. And we get well, that's a low roll. That's unfortunate. Oh boy. Yeah, easy clear. Easy clear. And IceColdNorca has resigned. Alrighty. So definitely a couple things to watch out for in that. Lots and lots of overextensions. And not enough coverage, right? I think if like things were going kind of rough throughout the majority of the game, but on this turn in particular, I think if we had actually pulled back, like sometimes you have to give up ground, sometimes you have to give up cities, right? So if we pull back at this point and then regroup with the medium tanks, especially if we kept the medium tanks hidden, like imagine if we put a medium tank like right here and a medium tank right here and pull the forces back to like around this area. If our Sasha player decided to push in and attack into that, well, we double medium tank, copter, infantry, possibly another tank hidden in here, anti-air probably back here, recon hiding back here, gets vision. You know, there's lots and lots of options here for sure. But we pushed in and our Sasha player capitalized on the overextension. That's pretty much, this definitely the turn that kind of sealed the deal here. But fun game to go over for sure, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one for more live League. So take care of yourselves, folks, and bye bye for now.